Hi.
Hey, what's
You look
up?
so pretty.
Oh, thank you. Merry
How are you?
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
I'm
Trying to
better.
hold on and not
Yeah,
let everything get to me.
we should go
So,
live on Facebook too. I tried to
okay.
share it. Where's Danielle at?
I don't know. Tell her. Did you tell her?
I sent it to her. Oh, she saw it. Where'd you go? There
Hi.
you are.
Um, so I don't even know how to use this. Can I invite other people too?
Yeah, you can share it.
Yeah.
I love how she said send the link. I did send it.
Mm. She just tell her to go on TikTok and she'll see we're live.
I'm gonna start it on Facebook too. So we're gonna have it on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok.
All right. Holla.
I'm gonna move this. So what are you doing?
I'm just sitting here, girl, trying to hold on. I'm really wishing that there wasn't as many mothers going through what we're going through as there are, but can't really do anything about it but try to stick together during holidays and stuff like that.
Yeah. I sent a voice note. I'm kind of scared to listen to it. Hold on. Let me mute this for a second and see what she said.
Okay.
Because I don't trust it.
I have to become more aware of how to do these things. Get people to join. I have no friends, it says. What'd she say? Okay.
Are you still there? I don't know if you
Yeah,
listened to that voice
no,
note that she left.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I'm going to start a stream on Facebook too. I tried to share it on there, but I think I have to download another app where you can make it go on YouTube and then it goes on all the other ones at the same time.
I know I have friends. I'm going to share it. Oh, it says suggest co-host.
Does it let you do me?
Oh, it lets me do Danielle and healing with,
Okay.
there's a lot of
But does
people.
it say, does it let you add them to this one?
Yeah.
Try to add them on here.
Suggest creditors. Can you see that I just tried to add Danielle?
No.
Hello?
Hey.
She's having phone problems.
Okay.
Doesn't really feel like Christmas, huh?
Not really. But let's try to make the best of it. I do not know how to start this stream on Facebook. Facebook is so whack. It says like live video, go live. Now it says I don't know why it doesn't let me do it on here. So she said that like her thing doesn't work.
Her phone, something's going on with her phone. She can't see. Oh, somebody joined just for chance.
Hello.
This is my first ever live.
Really?
Yeah, I've never got, well, I did with Dave Weigel, but.
With Dave Scammel?
Yeah, he
I'm gonna give you
deleted
my
them. I
phone.
tried to find them and I couldn't find them anymore.
He deleted the lives?
Yes.
Wow. That's like so petty.
And only kept his final judgment, his verdict on me.
Well, he blocked me before I ever even talked to him, so I think that speaks volumes about him as a person.
Definitely.
All right, let's see if this Facebook one, maybe she can just join on there. Oh, you're going to work on your son's case? What happened with his case? And where are you from?
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do.
Like when I try to go live on here, it like keeps like zoomed in. Here, that's better. A hidden homicide? Like, what are the details though? What happened? What state is this happening in? Hold on.
Can you hear me okay?
Hey, yes, I can.
Okay. I had originally declined because I was actually just going to listen for a couple minutes before I headed into work on his case, um, but thank you for asking questions about his situation. And by the way, you were one of the first people I started following. Um, so what happened was a year and a half after my son died, I started telling one of my friends about what was really going on. I was telling him like my lawyers aren't helping me. I think I need to fire them. And here's everything that happened. And she said, "You have got to go public." So I went public on FB first, but then when I added TikTok in a few months later, you were one of the first people, by the way, I started following. And I think it was like right after you got your new account. Like it was back in January, I think. So anyway, you were actually how I found out about the whole CPS corruption type situation. So I just kind of wanted to add that in as a side note. And now I
Well,
hear a
thank
lot
you.
about, yeah. Now I hear a lot about and I was so glad to see you actually start doing lives and podcasts and that type of thing. Um but now I'm hearing a lot about the CPS corruption, and I actually even have a collection in my TikTok saved collections for specifically CPS cases. Not that I could do anything about it, obviously, but I at least share them and share situations and stuff like that. Like I kind of say, like if the hidden homicide families and the missing persons families and the CPS and the medical families all got together and went to Washington, can you imagine what we could do with all this corruption in the judicial system? It is so ugly. And it's not a thing that you even know until you're in it. Like I would have never known about the CPS situation. As a matter of fact, I just had someone tell me a couple months ago, not kidding, that, oh, well, they had their kids taken away from them. They must have done something wrong. And I'm like, whoa, 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 let me tell you. And then I started telling them all the CPS stories, and they were just shocked. But you don't know about these things until you're in it and you start learning more about the government corruption. It's just disgusting. But basically, with like the hidden homicides, I didn't even know my son was a hidden homicide. I didn't even know what that meant. But what happened is my son was killed in his own front yard, July 7th of 2023, and we knew immediately, like almost immediately, like I think by day 5 we solidly all agreed as a family, like the cops are covering this up. What the hell is going on? Sorry about my language. Like what is going on? Why are the cops covering this up? Like it's so obviously a homicide. What is going on? And so a year and a half for the first year and a half I was quiet because I had hired lawyers and they told me to be. But then once I started coming public with, because as I said, once I told my friend what was happening, she was like, "You've got to come public with all this information." And I started getting more, and basically kind of like with the CPS situation, you start hearing about case after. Well, think Ellen Greenberg, Sandra Birchmore, and I know with Karen Reed, it's not a hidden homicide. Well, technically, her boyfriend's probably considered a hidden homicide, but the corruption behind all the homicides. But, and I'm sorry, I hope I don't get you dinged because I keep repeating that word. I'm not sure I should even be saying that on TikTok. But anyway, so an unaliving. But anyway, so um I ended up getting, like, you hear about more and more cases once you're in it. And like once we were public, I started having almost every time I made a post, I would have a family member, like of another family, reach out to me. This happened to my child too. This happened to my child too. And some of the cases are so similar. You're like, that is exactly what happened in my case. And so what they are though is they're hidden unalivings that are what they do, what the law enforcement officers do, and it starts with law enforcement and then goes up to the coroners and the MEs and the prosecutors and on up the chain to where they're all covering, like I said, just think Ellen Greenberg. But hers is like hers is like the worst case. Like, how could you even call her case a self-unaliving? There's no way. But anyway, so I ended up getting contacted by an advocate for hidden unalivings, and she told me what my son really was, what the actual label was. I had never even heard of a hidden unaliving before, and so it feels different now actually having a label for it, instead of people like thinking that people won't believe you. Like, I really thought no, and we have a lot of evidence. We've got body cam footage and surveillance footage and photos and stuff like that. But you still think no one's going to believe you that law enforcement officers would do this and coroners would do this. By the way, did you know, side kind of topic, that most coroners only have a high school diploma? That is their only requirement for being a coroner. Did you know that? I had no idea.
I did not.
You could check it out on PBS Frontline. I think it's a 2013 or a 2017 documentary series. But anyway, yeah, and the coroner that actually my son had, he was an appointed official, not even an elected official, and he had no medical degree. And you don't know these things until I actually happened to be talking to another mom, and she told me that. She was like, you can't believe coroner reports. Did you know they don't even have medical licenses? I was like, what? And so I started watching that PBS Frontline episode, and I think it was minute 13, I think it was, is when they came in. That's when they said that most coroners only have to have a high school diploma. I freaked out. So I started contacting the medical licensing databases, organizations and stuff like that. And yeah, I was confirmed to me that particular coroner that called my son was actually just an appointed politician. He didn't even have a medical degree. It's so disgusting. Like, the whole thing is so disgusting. And then, like, yesterday I was listening to a law enforcement TikTok, and they were saying detectives don't even have to have training. Basically, it's by attrition. So all you have to do is you do have to have, I guess, some college, but it doesn't even have to be in the field. Like, you could basically go in for an arts degree and come out a detective, basically, as long as it's tenure. It has nothing to do with your skill levels or your training. So anyway, but what actually happened to my son is he was, I'm going to try not to use the wrong words on here, because you can get dinged for me using the wrong words when it comes to this type of thing. He died by unaliving by GSW in his own front yard. We'd had that house for 18 years. I gave him that house the November before he died, and he walked out of his front door. We're assuming to go to lunch because it was about lunchtime, and he went down. And there's a lot to it that I kind of don't really want to get into, because I've just told the story so much. But I actually got the surveillance footage, and you would think the worst thing you could ever see was your child go down like that, because by the time we got the surveillance footage, he'd already been gone a couple weeks. So you know what you're about to see, and you see it, and you think that's the worst thing you're ever going to see, is your child get a GSW and go down, and you know that your life is over. At that moment, you see that, but then everything we saw after made it 1,000 times worse. Then you knew, in my heart of hearts, in my soul, I felt that I knew that the people surrounding my son were somehow involved, because all they did was walk around, and none of them were in the yard by any means, but they just walked around, they looked at him, they pointed at him. It took 4.5 minutes for anyone to call 911. I'm sorry. It took 4.5 minutes for anyone to check on him. 6 minutes for the 911 calls to come in. Then the dispatch didn't initiate an EMT for 2 more minutes. And the dispatch sent first responders to the wrong address. By the time you put everything together, you have to think everybody was involved. I mean, you have to think this all could not be by accident, that it took 4.5 minutes for anyone to even go over there, 6 minutes for the 911 calls to come in. And then when the 911 calls went in, the people who actually called 911 called him in as a self-unaliving, but neither one of them saw what happened. So why did they call him in like that? It made no sense. One of the 911 callers admitted to the dispatcher they didn't even see it's a word I can't use on TikTok. I'm gonna say a weapon. I think you could use that word. Until 11 minutes after my son went down. The other 911 caller indicated that the GSW came from the west of my son's house and not my son's house. There's just so much. The law enforcement officers never interviewed the 911 callers. They never interviewed the guy who had 3 minutes alone. There was a guy that went over there and spent 3 minutes alone with my son as my son lay there dying. They never interviewed anybody. I mean, the whole thing is just like insanity. And I thought nobody would believe me, but I was shocked that almost, unless you're seriously back the blue, this is what I always say, if you're so back the blue, you cannot see, your eyes are closed shut, and you are so blinded by the badge, you will never believe me. Or those are the only people who don't believe me or don't want to believe me. And then the other people who I believe are involved don't believe me or don't want to believe me. Obviously, I mean, you know what I mean. They believe me, but they can't publicly say it because they actually know what happened type thing. Those are the only people who actually didn't believe me. I was shocked. I thought when I came out and said all this stuff happened, people would be like, oh my God, cops wouldn't do that. Because that's what I was telling myself. I was telling myself cops would never do this. And then one of my family members says, you have got to start listening to, because I didn't listen to true crime podcasts and stuff. But then I started listening to true crime podcasts because one of my family members was like, you've got to stop second guessing yourself. Like, this stuff happens every day. And 3 of the first true crime podcasts I ever listened to was Sandra Birchmore, Karen Reed, and Along Came Sarah. And after you listen to that, your entire world and view changes. And then I stopped second guessing myself. And then I understood also why people actually believed me. I understood why people actually believed me at that point. So, anyway, that's kind of a gist of it. I know I'm kind of going fast and I'm not being very descriptive, but I've told his story so many times that, I don't know, it's difficult getting into the details every time, if that makes sense. But basically him and homicide. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, like, I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry that this happened and that you're dealing with this. And, if there's anything that I can do to help, let me know.
Absolutely. I will send you a DM. We actually do have, we have 2 petitions going and a letter writing campaign. So I can send you a DM on those. I think I can DM you. I may have actually already done that in the past. But I will send you those links. We have one petition where we're asking to have the case reopened by the FBI. We have one petition going where we're asking the law enforcement officers to be held accountable. And then we have a letter writing campaign where we're sending government officials letters asking basically the same thing of them. Like, the case needs to be reopened and these law enforcement officers need to be held accountable. So I will definitely get that over to you.
Yeah, and what state is this in?
It happened in Missouri.
Okay, Missouri. Wow. And so you've just been trying, like, for the last 2.5 years or so, you've been working on trying to get these investigations and cases reopened and trying to get justice, because you believe they basically saying that it was self-inflicted, but you're saying that the evidence shows that it was actually not, right?
Right. Well, and definitely, no matter what happened, it definitely shows police corruption. 100%. Like I actually did, I've been kind of slowly going through the police report, and just the first deputy, I mean, his, like, I go through the police reports and I make notes about like what they're lying about, what information they withheld, that type of thing. And his page was so full that I had to just like say, okay, guys, I'm stopping now on his page. We'll come back to it later. I need to move on to the next law enforcement officer, which actually I'm going to be working on next week as the next deputy. But the police report is just full of, like, the whole police report is basically just a lie. It is disgusting. And the thing is, we have proof for it, to back it all up. Like, we have the body cam footage and the surveillance footage to back up everything that I say. Like, they're lying, or this happened or that happened. We actually have evidence to back that up. And one kind of crazy thing, and this is actually what caused my family member to tell me to start listening to podcasts, was I kept second guessing myself about the weapon. I kept saying there's no way the law enforcement officers would have cleaned or swapped that weapon. And that's what she actually told me. I need to start listening to podcasts, because we actually do have video and photo evidence that after the law enforcement officers obtained the weapon, whether it was even the one used or not, we don't even know that, because they didn't do any fingerprint testing. They didn't do any GSR testing. They did basically absolutely nothing. And by the way, a side note to all of this is when I did start going over the police report, it actually shows that they closed the case before first responders even got there. It says, the police report actually shows on page 1 that the case was closed as a self-unaliving before first responders even got there.
Wow.
So they were processing this as a self-unaliving the moment those calls came in.
So do you think that maybe like the police are like involved in what happened, not just covering it up?
In the depths of my soul, I do believe at least one law enforcement officer knew that my son was going to die that day before it even happened. Did
he have enemies?
I believe that.
Did he have any enemies?
He didn't, and I kind of don't really want to get into like theories, but we did find a lot of crime and violence surrounding his house, and that will live with me for the rest of my life, because we lived there for 18 years. We gave him that house in November, and he died in July. So we gave him that house. Like, we will always regret that. Like, what if we had sold it? Because we were debating whether to sell it or give it to him. And we gave it to him. We even gave him the option, like, do you want us to sell it, or do you actually want it as is? Because we were in the middle of remodeling it. We were actually turning that house into a log cabin, so we could, and we were far off. It wasn't like it was going to be done immediately. Like, we would just been slowly working on it. But we were going to winter there and summer here. And we ended up deciding, like, it's just too, like, for a lot of reasons, we just decided to give him the option of, like, do you want the house as is, or do you want us to sell it and, like, help you relocate? And because he was staying there, he was taking care of the house for us, because we actually live 6 hours away. And he decided he wanted the house, so we just gifted it to him with a quitclaim deed, and we will regret that for the rest of our lives, because only after he died did we find out everything surrounding that house.
I mean, you had no way to know. You had no way to know, and also you were, he wanted it, so you were doing what he wanted you to do at the time. So you can't really beat yourself up over that. But I do admire the fact that you're, talking so much about this, and that you're being open about it. And also, I want to invite you, if you want to speak on my podcast as a guest, I'd be more than happy to have you on as well.
That would be great. Like I said, I'll send you a DM later, and then, like, we can work all that out.
Yeah, definitely. And, like, speaking up and continuing to go on podcasts and continuing to get your story out there, I think will help, because, like with that Karen case, like, it's they're again just trying to just write it off and expect the public to just forget about it. But I feel like people don't forget about it. And then the more that, like, podcasts come out and documentaries and things like that, I feel like that's the only thing that actually like forces these investigations to get reopened, like public pressure.
I do agree with that. I was actually just thinking about that today. And one thing I didn't know about that another family member told me about, like another family going through this told me about, was that law enforcement officers have, and you know this with what you're going through, law enforcement officers have qualified immunity. So they will never be punished for anything that they've done. And I had not realized that. I was pushing and pushing. And then one day, there's another family going through almost the exact same situation that we're going through. Like no spent, like in my son's case, there was no spent casing ever found, no spent like projectile ever found, nothing like that. And there's another case very similar to that. And that's where I found out. I was talking to that family member one night, and they said, for that family, and they said, "Hey, did you know that the sheriff departments have qualified immunity? They will never, you know, be held accountable for what they've done." I had no idea. I started looking up qualified immunity, and it's just a whole nother nightmare. Qualified immunity is a whole nother nightmare. That's what I'm saying. I wish, and I know we're
It
all
really is. It's one of the biggest problems we have is qualified immunity through the whole government and all the officials. But
absolutely.
there is movement right now to try to fix that. We all have to just keep on speaking up and telling our story and being brave, because that alone is very hard when you see it's a corrupt system.
Yeah, like
Yeah, and you
once you
know what?
start learning about these things.
Yeah, and like qualified immunity is not the same as absolute immunity. And like I can think of multiple cases off the top of my head where police have been sued and held accountable. There was one in New Haven, Connecticut. This guy, he was arrested by the New Haven Police Department, and they handcuffed him behind his back. Yeah, they handcuffed him behind his back, and then they threw him in this like they call it like a paddy wagon. It's like a just like a van kind of thing, but it doesn't have like seat belts or anything like that. So like they had him in that with his hands handcuffed behind his back, and then they like slammed on the brakes or whatever, and the guy went flying into like the wall of the vehicle, which is like steel. It's made out of like metal. And so like the guy, since his hands were behind his back, he couldn't like brace his fall when he was about to like hit the wall. So like he went like head first into this like metal steel wall at, whatever in the accident. And he became paralyzed. And then like the police were like making fun of him when they tried to take him out of the car. He was like asking for medical attention, and they kept making fun of him, accusing him of being drunk and stuff like that. And then finally, they actually gave him medical attention, and he ended up suing. And I actually interned with the firm that represented the plaintiff, and he won like, I don't know, like 30 million or something like that. Like, but they, in that case, it was more clear where like the police clearly did something wrong, right? Like they directly caused him to be paralyzed because of their actions. In your case, it's a little bit different because it's like, there you have certain theories where you believe this, you believe that, but it's like not like clear cut, like straightforward. So that's why it's more confusing. It's more complicated and stuff. And so I understand what you're saying, but I would not give up, and I would just continue to keep doing what you're doing because and so the FBI had taken the case, not the state, or did the state then get the FBI involved?
Well, that's the thing. Actually, what happened was a few weeks after my son died, I was actually on the phone with USPIS because there's like 5 different federal agencies that should be involved in my son's case, but no one's acting. But I was on the phone with USPIS, and we were talking about a different aspect of my son's case. And because what had also happened on top of all this is exactly 1 week after my son died this violent way, a life insurance policy packet was stolen out of his mailbox. And we didn't even know about this, but the post office actually made us aware because they said it was really bizarre that 1 week after he died such a violent, horrific death, this would go missing out of his mailbox. So, because what had happened is they had delivered it, and then they realized they weren't supposed to deliver it because I'd done a change of address because I was POA, and they went back to get it, and it was already gone. So they actually USPS notified me that it was missing. And so we filed a report, and I was on the phone with USPIS at one point a few weeks after my son died, and they said they were listening to my story, what I was telling them about what happened to my son, and they told me to call the state police and the FBI. They were like, "You need to leave work immediately," because I was actually at work when all this was going on. "You need to leave work immediately, and you need to get a hold of your state police, and you need to get a hold of the FBI." So I did. Well, the state police can't get involved without, actually, I guess the state police and FBI can't get involved without an invitation. So I called the state police. They did actually call the, it's Henry County Sheriff Department in Henry County, Missouri. And they called the Henry County Sheriff Department and offered him help, and Detective John David Schwartz refused their help. So they couldn't get involved. They still can't get involved because Henry County won't invite them in. Henry County won't invite them in because I don't think Henry County wants them to find out what they're really doing. But that doesn't all matter now because I sent a bunch of information to the highway patrol about a week ago about Henry County and a lot of stuff regarding Chance's case and stuff like that. But what I did end up doing is I finally got the FBI to kind of bite on the case a bit. I'm going to say a year. Yeah, it was about a year ago. But they weren't investigating the case because they can't, but they were investigating the officers. But they actually said the officers didn't do anything wrong. They actually said like they didn't find any corruption at all with those officers. And there's like no way. All you have to do is watch the body cam footage, and you know those officers. You know.
Hey, babe, how are you doing?
Oh, Danielle, finally, yay.
Another mom who is sharing the story about her son dealing with a lot of corruption, and he passed away, and so she's been fighting for justice about his case, and so she was just telling us about her story, I guess.
No,
and she's
my son didn't pass away.
No, not you. Another mom is telling us her.
The other mom who's on live. So it's right now it's us and her, and then you. So
yeah, I got a crazy ass story. So let me know when I'm ready, girl. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you could drop me down, and then we'll listen to Danielle.
Yeah. What was your first name again?
I'm Laura.
Laura. Okay. I'm Theodora.
Nice to meet you, Laura.
Nice to meet you,
I'm Natasha.
All right, yeah, and if you want to drop me down, that's fine, and then I'll listen to Danielle's tell her her situation.
Okay, no problem. And DM me, and we'll talk about everything privately too.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thanks for sharing your story.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I don't know how to take her off though. Oh, here we go. Okay. So Danielle, how's it going? Where'd she go? Now she left. Yeah, I cannot stand her. Now she's back.
Okay, good.
Stop. It kicks me off anywhere, girl.
Are you sure it's the phone?
I'm here. No, girl. Like, I've been trying to comment on somebody's post, and it, like, kicks me off. And, girl, I don't even want to deal with this iPhone right now.
So why don't you tell everybody what's going on with your situation, whatever you are able to share?
So I really don't know what I'm able to share, but the judge told me that I cannot talk about the case or whatever. So I just want to let you guys know that my CPS worker and the GAL and everybody was kicked off and terminated from my case. They were banned. I don't know if you're making this public or whatnot.
Yeah, we're live, so maybe it's better if you don't say too much, because they did now put in an order the other day, but yeah, I guess that they put in an order saying that like she's not allowed to discuss or post anything about the case in social media and stuff like that. But her case basically involved some stuff with you know, the
CPS
juvenile
corruption.
court, CPS and everything like that. So it's like
Nita
some people,
Taymor, CPS corruption.
yeah, like some people have like just dealing with family court or just dealing with CPS or just dealing with police. Like some people like me have all of those, all of the above. So it's
So,
like,
well,
I feel like
this I know for a fact is for the public. So DCFS has not made reasonable efforts towards the goal of guardianship. Period. The courts removed the agency and orders DCFS to reassign this case, right? So this was on December 18th of 2025. So there is to be visitation plan set up between the mother and the minor.
No,
and
Danielle, be careful. Don't let's
But
shift topics
this
right
is for
now.
the public. This is public.
Okay.
So
I
I'm
would
not
just be
going
careful.
into
Be
detail.
careful
This
about
is the
what you
court
say.
order. This is the court order, honey.
But this case is not public because it's a juvenile case, right?
Oh, okay.
So juvenile
Well,
cases are usually confidential. So that's another thing is
oh, okay.
that
Well, I
that's
don't know, but make a long
they
story
told you
short.
you don't want them to get mad, like, you know what I mean?
Okay, no problem. Protect me, honey. Go ahead. I'm not
Yes,
gonna
baby.
argue.
So like, my point is that like
But my
with the
thing is,
CPS
if they
cases,
didn't find, if they didn't find, my only question is, hypothetically speaking, from somebody else's case or my case or anybody else's case, if they didn't find reasonable efforts for guardianship, okay, so if DCFS has not made reasonable efforts towards the goal of guardianship, right? So guardianship comes after like termination of parental rights or not being able to return home goal within 12 months. So I know a friend of a friend that had a case that where they said that DCFS was not making reasonable efforts towards the goal of guardianship. So why can't my friend go all the way back to where DCFS wasn't making reasonable efforts for return home goal within 12 months for reunification?
I mean, I don't know about the details, but all I can say is that like one of the reasons why these CPS cases get so corrupt and out of control is because they're confidential, because the public cannot see it. And then when they go put
Right.
gag orders, like they give you a gag order. You're not allowed to talk about the case, or they can say you're in contempt, put you in jail, punish you. And so it's like cases in family court and civil court are public record. Anybody can just go look it up. But your case is it's sealed. It's a juvenile case. It's confidential. So that's how they get away, by keeping the public in the dark. And then when you asked for court watchers, when you ask for a Zoom
Right.
hearing, they say
Yeah.
no because they want, like, they can't get
And
away
they
with
kicked
the
them all
corruption.
out. She kicked them all out.
Yeah.
And she would not allow
Like,
them in.
yeah, like one
And
time,
then just want to let you know that both of the times that I filled out an ADA accommodation for a support person, it was both denied. And then that's the two last court dates, and then the two last court dates after that, both none of my support people. She did not let any of my support people in, and she also denied and ignored my ADA accommodations.
well, that's the other thing too. Like one time I had a criminal hearing and I had it on Zoom, and I had asked for people to just join as court watchers. And I had like 100 people. There was like literally like 100 people on there watching.
Girl.
Because I was like, everybody join. I might go to jail for like 8 years. Please join. Like, I got so many viewers, and the court was pissed because they were so mad because they got witnesses that they're like, oh, we're gonna go on they're like, we're gonna go on recess, and then this was at like 12 o'clock, and then they keep us on fucking recess for 4 hours. And then the clerk emails me, the court closes at 5. The clerk, we're all sitting there waiting like an idiot for them to come back from this so-called recess. 4 hours later, I'm sitting at my computer like an idiot for 4 hours. Then I get an email from the clerk. Oh, the judge isn't coming back.
Was that your case that I remember that? I don't know if it was yours or not, but
yeah, and the judge is
No,
like,
they do that. That's a
clerk goes,
strategy they
a
use.
group that I was with where they literally held us in the waiting room for like 2.5 hours.
It's modern day torture.
And then they go.
I don't know if
then
it
he
was
goes,
yours
"Oh,
or
you
not, or
wanna-"
somebody else's case. I don't know, but I think it was about like 3 weeks ago.
No, this was like 2 years ago. But then he goes,
okay.
and the clerk says, oh, if you wanna do your hearing, you can come next week in person. After I had gotten granted an ADA accommodation to have all my hearings, including the trial, on Zoom. So like, how are you going to give me an accommodation to have everything on Zoom and then turn around and say, no, you're going to come in person or nothing? After you granted that accommodation for everything to be on Zoom.
She literally ordered me to go in person too.
No, and it's like a joke. Like, then now they're doing the same thing to me.
It's because
they made you run. You had to go run to court, Danielle. I remember that. We were all waiting, and you were supposed to go virtually, and then they made her run. If she didn't show up, she would have been in trouble for not showing up, even though she had ADA
it's not that. They're afraid that you're going to record because they can't see
They don't want
what's going on in your house. When you show up through Zoom, they don't know if your court watches, if they let in or whatever that are going to record, or if they don't know. Like if you show up through Zoom, they're not gonna know if you're recording or not, because she literally did that shit to me. Not last Thursday, but the prior court hearing. And she's like, well, Danielle, why didn't you show up in person? I'm like, well, what do you mean? Everybody else is showing up through Zoom meetings, so why can't I?
You probably had a massive amount of people waiting to get in to watch what was going on in your trial.
I did.
It would have because I think your judge was they court watched her and they gave her a bad review on one of the other.
I had so many people, like they did not let any of my people in like the last 2-3 court hearings. I did.
I was on the first one too when you had somebody with you and you were on the phone. She was on the phone, so I couldn't see you, but I could hear you because she called into the group chat. So I heard everybody. I heard everybody talking. I heard you say that she just stuck her tongue out at me. I heard all of that.
Yeah, that was after. Yes, girl, she got in trouble for that.
Good.
But I'm ordered not to talk about anything, so I don't know what I can or cannot talk about right now.
Okay, but so I remember that.
But yes, I can't.
It's like illegal. It's like to give a gag order is so illegal. Like it's called freedom of speech.
In the court report, it says that there is to be visitation plan set up by the mother and the minor, and visitation is supposed to occur. Agency is supposed to remit community-based service only. Agency is to recommend community-based services only. All parties are barred from sharing, dismembering, and public whatever.
So what?
The mother is supposed to attend in person. Court addresses mother's motion, but she scribbled it out. Mother request for removal of Mike Maciel, which is my private attorney, that was granted. So they can't sit here and tell me that I can't talk about the court report, because I could talk about the court report until I'm blue in the face. You know what I'm saying? If I get legal counsel from whoever, they can't sit and tell me that I can't get legal counsel from whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, it's like that there's a difference between getting legal counsel where you have attorney-client confidentiality privilege.
But I'm going pro se, girl.
Danielle, can you tell us about
you don't get an attorney-client privilege.
Can you tell us about what happened? Like, because what happened with like all everything before? Like I only heard parts of your story. Like I only know something happened in your family and it brought attention, but I never heard the whole story about what happened.
Well, I mean, if you guys are interviewing me, let me know that I'm on an interview show. So, like, I
We don't
really
got to
don't.
talk about it.
I really don't
Let's talk
feel
about something else
comfortable,
then.
especially on my case being about to be closed soon, January 30th. Like, yeah, my cousins were murdered
Oh.
back in 2018 when I gave birth to my child.
Oh, you gave birth that same year?
Yes, I did. She helped me to get pregnant.
She helped you to get pregnant?
Yes, ma'am.
Cuz your baby was a miracle baby, right? Like
Yes.
what happened with that? Like you were having like you my brothers, I had 3 brothers. I have 2 real brothers and then a cousin that grew up with us like brothers, and all of them died already. So I like understand like death and like losing people that you love tragically and all that, even though I know your story is like out like a lot of the crazy stuff. That's hard to deal with. I hope you know how strong you are.
Okay, so back in 2018, I was struggling with infertility for 14 years. And then my cousin Shannon Watts was telling me about this thing that I'm like, okay, okay. So I watched her for like 17 months and I'm like, oh, okay. So she lost a lot of weight and everything and she looks good. And I was like, okay, let me get her a shot, So like after I ordered it from my cousin Shannon Watts, after 4 months, I ended up pregnant with my son Prince. And we can't make medical claims, so we can't say, oh, because of Thrive. We have to say, Thrive helped us to start a family, So I suffered infertility for 14 years.
Wow.
And then I got pregnant in like 2016 and I ended up losing the baby around like September, October of 2016. So then I ended up getting pregnant again after I got on the Thrive with my cousin Shannon Watts. And then I got pregnant and I told my cousin, I'm like, Shannon, please don't tell anybody. And she's like, well, Danielle, I don't talk to any of the family members, blah, 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 blah. There's a whole bunch of people that come up to me and say, this and this happened after they take Thrive, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh my God, Shannon. So you're the
Wait, hold
number
on. Is
one and
Thrive
only
wait,
person.
is Thrive like some medicine or some supplement?
It's a supplement. It's not medication. It's
It's supposed to help you get pregnant? Is it like to help you get
no,
pregnant?
no, no, it's not. No, no, no. It's a supplement with vitamins. We cannot make medical claims. I am not making no medical claims.
Okay.
So it's like the doctor told me that I had low hormones, right? So when I got on Thrive, it's like it fills in your nutritional gaps. So I was so low on vitamin D, A, B, whatever. When I started taking Thrive, it literally like boosted whatever. I don't know, but the doctor told me, Danielle, you don't have to worry about anything anymore. You got pregnant. I was low on hormones, and the doctor told me, Danielle, you don't have to worry about anything. I'm like, what the fuck?
So you were mad like close with your cousin.
Yeah, like we grew up together.
And did you guys have like kids in the same age range?
So I had infertility issues for 14 years. So when Shannon introduced me to Thrive, I was literally pregnant within 4 months.
Cool.
I'm not saying it's because of Thrive. I'm not making no
Probably
medical
because
claims.
it's
And
probably
I
just because you
cannot
started
make
to
no
like
medical
take care of your body.
claims. Excuse me.
It's probably because like you were deficient in vitamins, and then now you're starting to do better nutrition for your body. It's hard to get pregnant when you're like
Yes, I
not
think
healthy.
that's what it was. It's because I am so I'm so depleted or vitamin D.
Deficient.
Yes. So the doctor, every time I go to the doctor always wants to prescribe me like vitamin D, A, B, whatever. I have to take like a vitamin that's blue that is 50,000 milligrams once a week.
Is that the
So,
prenatal vitamin?
no,
Like a prenatal.
no, it's not. It's the blue pill because I'm so vitamin deficient. But anyway, Thrive, I felt like Thrive helped me because it literally has like over 150 different vitamins and minerals. So I felt like Thrive was helping me with the nutritional the gaps and the vitamins that I was missing. So to where it like did something with girl, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I felt like it helped and aided something with me. Because the doctor told me, Danielle, hey, look, you can't get pregnant because women have to be at a 3.5 hormone level or a 2.5, and you're at a 1.0. And
Wow.
the doctor told me that women can't get pregnant if the hormones are that low. So when I got on Thrive, I literally lost like 42 pounds within
How
4
many?
months. I lost like 42 pounds within 4 months. And then
Wow.
I had all these vitamins because it's not only just like the vitamins, because if you swallow vitamins, you're going to extract it. So then they had the drink to cover it up, and then they had a patch to cover it up. And then you could wear that patch overnight. So I was like, well, okay, well, maybe. So my son, I like to say that my son was literally a Thrive baby before, during, and after. And then when my cousin was murdered, I was 6 months pregnant, and she was 3 months pregnant with
Wow.
baby Nico.
Wow.
That's
So,
sad.
my cousin, every time I look at my son, I always think about my cousin Shannon and Bella and baby Cece and Nico.
Why? She had more kids?
So she had Bella and she had Cece. So Bella took her like 2, 3 years to get pregnant with, and then 18 months later she had Cece Celeste. And then she did the oops, we did it again on TikTok. Or not TikTok, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Because TikTok wasn't out around really. It was out, but my cousin really didn't pay attention to that. But she did like the TikTok video, like, oops, we did it again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when I watched that video, girl, when she first released it, I'm like, oh my God, something's weird, something's off, something's off, something's off. Oh my God, he is not happy, he's not excited. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you know? Like it raised red flags to me.
Okay. I don't know the story behind it, so I don't understand. Like
Did you
you mean
watch
like the husband?
did do me a favor, honey? Can you watch The American Murder, The Family Next Door?
The American Murder of the Family Next Door?
On
Okay.
Is that about
Lifetime.
your case?
So there's two movies, right?
About
So
your
there's
case? About your
American,
case?
there's
Yes.
uh Tasha, are you still here?
Mm-hmm.
So there is the Confession of Chris Watts, which is on YouTube, I think, and then on Netflix, it's the Confession of Chris Watts.
Oh, so he confessed to killing her, so he got arrested and
Yeah.
everything?
Yes.
Okay.
2 months later. So it happened in August while I was giving birth. He was prosecuted, I think, November 5th of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I gave birth November 28th. So when I was in the hospital, whatever, I told my mom and my husband and my husband's mother, do not cut on that television. And I told all the nurses and everything and the doctors, please do not cut on that television, because every station was covering my cousins and my baby cousin's murders.
I'm sorry.
So while I was giving birth, my cousin's murders were all over national television.
I'm sorry, baby.
So when I gave birth, like, I told them, don't cut the television on.
And gosh, that's so hard to go through.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And it's like all this trauma, like, my only real full blood brother died on July 20th. And so, like,
This year?
it's really hard.
What
This year,
year?
yeah.
This year?
Oh my gosh.
This year, girl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this year. And
So
like, there was a lot of other
2025
stuff.
or what?
Yeah, a few months ago. Like he had Down syndrome. So like, he always was like nonverbal, and he had like mental disabilities and stuff. Like, and I guess that like one day he was just like started like breathing really fast. My mom said like he was like just like wheezing and breathing super fast. So she called like an ambulance and they checked him, and then they wanted him to go to the hospital. And they said like while he was in the ambulance, he like his heart stopped. And so they had to like restart his heart or whatever. And then like by the time he got to the hospital, he was basically like pretty much almost brain dead. Like they had
What?
him hooked up to machines, and like when his heart had stopped for all that time, when he went back on, it was like he only had the ability to have reflex movements. So like like he if he's gonna blink and stuff like that, like that's like a bodily reflex. So that's the only type of brain activity that was happening after that. So it's not considered, in medical terms, it's not considered fully brain dead if you can have that, but it basically is. And so that then he stayed on like ventilators and all these machines and being fed by a tube and all this for the thing happened on like May 19th. And then they kept trying to get my mom to sign like a DNR, and they wanted to just be done with it. But she was like, no. And she kept pushing them to keep like trying to keep him alive. And they did as long as they could. But then then eventually July, he ended up passing because his body just couldn't, like, you can't survive long term on a ventilator like that. You need to get like a tracheostomy or whatever, and he couldn't do that because of how badly he was like
He
brain
wouldn't have made
damaged
it through the
from
surgery.
Wow.
pretty much, yeah. And so that, it's just really sad because like he was 11 months younger than me, so we were like Irish twins, and like it's just sad that he was only 33.
Wow.
Sorry.
Thank you. And it's just hard because it's like, you think like the little things don't affect you, but like they do. And it's like, maybe at the time you're like numb to it, but then it like hits you later. And then it's just like, loss affects everybody different, like grieving and stuff. And
Hey, Theo, can you please join Fur Baby? I love her, baby, 88. She has a little bit of a disability, but she is a sweetheart and she is fighting for her child too. And they literally kidnapped her child because her and her mom has a little bit of a learning disability. Are you kidding me? I
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
also illegal. You're not allowed to discriminate against
Yes.
people on the sole
Yes.
basis
It's
of
like
their
it goes
disability.
against the disability law.
It does.
Just
That's
because
why, like,
everybody has like a learning disability or a spelling or a reading disability, like you're literally gonna take my child away because I can't articulate like most people because I don't know the smart terms and the smart words. So you're gonna take my child away from me, like her baby and Anna. Like the Anna is the
I
mom of
just
her
sent her an
baby.
invite. Is she in this
Huh?
chat? Is she in this live? I just sent an invitation
Hey,
to
fur baby, how are
Fur.
you, honey? We love you. We care about you, fur baby.
She's. I don't think she's in the chat anymore. I don't think she's in the thing
No,
anymore.
she's in the comments.
I think she left.
No, the funny thing is the judge didn't know what
No,
court.
for
What?
88
Sorry, my phone is messing up.
is for 88 who you're talking about?
For 88, yes.
For baby.
They literally took her child because she is like not on the average level. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how else to put it. For
Like a low
baby, I'm
IQ.
sorry, honey, but I just don't know how to put it.
Fur baby, are you there?
They literally kidnapped
It's
her
for
child and took her
88.
child
The
away
for 88
because
is
she
who
is
she's
not
talking about.
intellectual on a normal person's level.
Wait,
Fur
what happened?
88. Is it Fur 88 or Fur baby?
For 88.
It's Fur 88, but I call her Fur Baby.
I'm sorry, that made me giggle and make
Sorry,
that laugh.
girl. Sorry, Theo.
Oh boy.
But she's a sweetheart.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have crazy stories, and like, it's just you don't. Oh, where'd she go now?
And I didn't know where I went.
I didn't know where you went either.
I didn't know where the hell I went. Girl, I don't even know where I'm going. Shit.
I don't know how
So
to
what did
put
everyone?
hearts in a and
What did
the
everyone get for
flower.
Christmas?
What?
What did you guys get?
What
What did
anybody
you guys
get?
buy?
I didn't get a goddamn thing.
Did you get yourself anything?
Except what happened in court, girl. So that's all I need.
I bought myself these fake nails because I don't
I
want to
see
spend
you.
like $100 on a. And I hate getting my nails done. It's so annoying. Like you sit there for like 2 hours and it takes forever, and it's like you can't use your phone to do anything. Like it's the worst. But these
Girl,
ones,
do the
like,
poly gel kit off TikTok. Do the poly gel. I got the poly gel, girl. I swear to God, you could do your nails like 48 times off, like less than $50.
is that what you do?
It comes with the gel, and all you gotta do is put the gel on the fingertip or your. It's weird, but there's like glitter, pink, blue, white, yellow, green, all these colors. There's like 48 different colors. So every color you could use it at least twice. So you're doing your nails like 48 times. So you could get like 48 nail sets for like less than $50. Poly gel kit.
Wow.
Google it, girl. And then it comes with the forms. So all you gotta do is put the gel on the form and put it on
Oh
your
my
nail.
God. I don't know how to. I can't do all that.
Well, it's so easy. Oh my God.
I'm not a nail tech. Forms. Oh my God. One of my friends, like, she was like, she does brows, but then she like
It's
was trying
not
to like.
forms. It's like all you gotta
No, I
do
know
is
what you're talking about.
all you gotta do is squeeze out the tube and put it on the
Yeah, it's a
nail.
lot easier said than done.
But
It's
listen,
not that easy.
I seen it on TikTok. So all you have to do is squeeze out a little bit on the form before you put it on your nail. And then you form it out to where it's flat. And then when you go to, after you dry it out or whatever, then you go to put it on your nail bed and flatten it out and put it on the thing, then it's hard to explain, girl.
But is it like how they do? Is it like how they do the gel tips with the forms at the salon? The same way? You just do it at home?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hi, Jessica. Thank you so much. I appreciate the prayers. But yeah, Natasha's from Connecticut too. Natasha, why don't you tell them about what Connecticut did to you?
Really?
Yeah.
There you go, honey. I sent you. I'm the title gifter, baby.
Oh, thank you. Natasha, do you want to share your story a little or anything of
my
it?
story is like still going on, right? So, but I don't know if I want to share my story yet.
Go ahead.
But
I mean, if you're gagged, then don't.
You can share as much
I'm
as you
gagged.
want.
I'm gagged.
I
They tried to gag
had
me,
full
but I just
custody of
don't.
my daughter until she was 7. He wasn't on the birth certificate, and I until 7, and my daughter got diagnosed with just like ADHD, like she was having problems in school and stuff. So I was trying to get her tested through the school, you know, to get her the extra help or whatever she needed. And her father was blocking it, and it was just like educational stuff. Like the teachers weren't writing down them disciplining her. They were keeping her out for recess. She was saying that they were putting her in solitary. And then it's just like all kinds of stuff was happening at the same time. And she was saying she was being left alone with her father, by her father, with her infant brother, and she had to take care of him for long periods of time. And she was saying just all this stuff, like she would say her stepmother would pull out her hair, and just like things like I could never prove. Like I couldn't really prove any of the things that I was seeing or she was saying. And so that's what brought on court, because I let him sign the birth certificate, and then 3 months later he brought me to court. And then like since Nadia was like, I was pregnant with Nadia, like right before I got pregnant with Nadia, I started losing family, and I lost like 12 people in the family by time Nadia was 7, including all of my brothers. My youngest brother drowned in the river, and we didn't find him for 8 months when Nadia was 1.5. And then the middle brother, he got in a car accident and died right in front of the house we grew up in on Nadia's 5th birthday party. Well, the day before her birthday was her birthday party. And just like a lot of tragedy like that happened in my family. My Damien, my cousin brother, he shot himself in his heart when I was 6 months pregnant, because they had him on bad medicine from when he got back from Iraq. And so like I should have had like postpartum, I should have had a lot of help. And I did have family though, like thank God, because I don't know where I would be right now. But they ended up making me give sole custody to her father, and if I didn't, they were gonna put Nadia in foster care. The guardian ad litem told me that in front of my lawyer, and then made me go before the judge and agree to sign over my rights. And it was in my order, it's for grief therapy. And I then when they did that, they made me go for a psych eval, and I had to pay $5,000 for that. And then it was based off of me getting medical treatment for grief, right? But they then gave it to Mark, and they gave it to my daughter's father. So he was able to use it against me after that. The guardian ad litem put me on supervised visitation for over a year. And I was like so traumatized that I couldn't even like read the documents. I couldn't like comprehend half of the shit that was happening. And then my daughter was coming home, and she's still now this is like the last incident, but like it was always like mental shit coming from the other, like very abnormal, like Nadia is made to say things that are not true, or she's made to tell me things that are not true, or she says things that I did that I never did. And like every time like during supervised visitation, it would be called an incident. But then when I had the supervised visitation, I never had any incidences. But the lady said you don't want to get any incidences because and she, the court ordered in-home supervisor that I had for a year, she stayed with me. She called me every day for a year after I stopped paying her, after she was off my case, because she knew how bad of a situation I was in. Because the guardian ad litem, the supervisor ended up giving me back 40/60 parenting plan. And then as soon as the supervisor left, the guardian ad litem dropped my parenting time down like by like not even full weekends. Like I had like no full weekends or anything. But I had her the full week in Christmas, and I had her the 3 weeks I was off when I was off for work, and I had her 1 week on and off and 1 week on in the summer. So in the summer I had 50/50, and it was in the order that if Nadia showed any issues, like focus issues in school, that the school would have to test her, and it made the guardian ad litem be able to leave the case. So I agreed to it without going to trial. But she immediately dropped my time down until she could get me into that order. And then turns out a year after the guardian ad litem left and the school did test Nadia, and she has special education needs, and I still can't get my educational rights back to her. Oh, and another thing that they use is that I didn't get her vaccine. Like I had a religious exemption, and they used that like medical abuse on me. And like none of it is documented. It's just like the GAL was God in my case, and my lawyer never helped me. My lawyer is like, I now through AI and studying and stuff and having nothing to do but try to study and figure out what happened. I learned every single thing in my case was illegal. They had no right to take my daughter from me at all.
Yeah, and I know somebody in the comments.
Do, honey, it's CPS corruption, and I don't want to get into it, especially on here, but my CPS worker, the agency, the GAL, the state's prosecutor, my brother and his wife, everybody was banned off my case because
that's so good for you.
Because I exposed the corruption. And I also had court watchers. So every time you go to court, honey, please do not go by yourself.
And I have. And then I found Dave Weigel, and I thought Dave Weigel was going to help me, right? And I submitted all my documents to him, even 3 judges' recusals and everything. And he came to my case and he came to the trial where I had already recused 3 judges and I had to go before the head judge.
Wait, did he come in person?
Well,
Did Dave Weigel come in
Yes,
person?
he came in person with like
David
5
Weigel.
like
he's
white
charging
guys.
$300.
Hold on. Wait, guys. We can't have too many people. One person at a time. Natasha, go ahead. Tell us what happened with Dave.
He came in, and he left in the middle of it because I don't know why. And then after when I got out of the court, he was standing outside the building. But in the trial, like I had a vacate order in. I had 3 judges recusals. I had 3 ex partes. I had a motion to preserve the record. I had all of these motions in, and he dismissed the contempt on the record, and he ordered me to family relations, and he kept me on supervised visitation, claiming that the judge before him that I recused showed probable cause to put me on supervised visitation now, but they didn't have anything. The system is so corrupt. I don't even know. You guys know what's happening to me. And
I'm just wondering, like, so when Dave came as supposedly to be a court watcher, and supposedly to support you, he was waiting outside at the end, and he was like,
he walked out in the middle of it, and
then he was just
he said
he was just outside at the end.
He was outside talking to some guys, and then he said that I'm just a disgruntled mother, and I just didn't like what I got in the divorce when we were never even divorced. And like,
are you serious?
Yeah, he didn't.
Wow.
He never even read my documents.
Wow.
And so
that's terrible, and like that's why I would say, like, there's so many of these people who are so-called advocates that are only caring about milking these fraudulent nonprofits that they start. And like, honestly, like, that's not the first time. Like, he told me that he said to me on a recorded call that he doesn't believe, and that he claims that there's research out there that says that it's impossible for a grown man to be sexually attracted to a kid, or a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old.
But my daughter, because the guy that brought it up to where it was okay. No, I don't know his name, but Francesca talks about all the time where back in 1980s where the guy said that it was okay.
Richard Gardner.
Yes, where it was okay for
he tried to promote pedophilia,
man to have sexual attraction towards young ass women and little girls like 5, 3, 2, 1, 6, 7, and then to make pedophilia a thing.
Yeah, and also someone in the comments.
It's in our culture. That's where it's everywhere. It's why the kids are getting taken.
And these are the people that are running the court system.
And nobody wants to talk about that. And,
do you know that these are the people that are running the court systems
today?
These are the
but it seems like from the beginning until now, it seems like a lot more people are starting to wake up to how really dark it is, and what is really happening to our kids and to the parents. It's like modern day slavery. It's like modern day torture. And
also, like, somebody in the comments said, "What's a court watcher?" I just want to answer that, because in case anyone doesn't know, like,
we watch
court watchers are, basically, like, if it's a Zoom hearing and somebody's like, "Oh, I have court at 2:00. Here's the link." Anybody from anywhere can jump on the link and watch and observe and be a witness. Or if you live in Connecticut and she has court in Connecticut, you can go in person and sit in the audience.
Honey, it don't even matter what state you're in. We're court watchers all over nationwide.
If they give you a Zoom
her
hearing,
state, and I'll be able to watch her court date.
Both of you guys make a valid point, but Danielle, you needed in-person court hearing.
Yes, it does, Danielle.
Watchers.
In Connecticut, they don't stream.
Honey, virtual, no, but in person, yes. I've
I'm
had
saying in
several
person.
people all across the world watch me virtually until my judge denied it. And then Natasha was the one that made like a whole poster. Natasha, didn't you not? You made a whole poster, like even when my
Yes,
son's
for
picture.
in-person ones because
And
they
in
wouldn't let
person
the
court watcher,
88
nobody
go
showed
through.
up, but still, like even if you made that poster board or whatever, like it was the effort that counted. And then also too, I posted on all my social media, whatever. And for the judge to deny it, it shows that there's a lot of corruption. So even if Natasha, even though you posted that for me and everything like that, and the judge denied it, it goes to show that the judge is hiding some secrets. You know?
Yes, I know. It's
Well, also
all
it's
like
like
So it
when you
could
look
be
into my
virtual
judge,
or it
right?
could be
My
in
judge is Leo
person. It
Deanna,
don't
right?
matter the court watchers.
My
Because
judge, he
honey,
showed up at my job after my
whoever's in the
trial.
group chat that needs a court watcher, please hit me up. I will watch your court hearing virtually or in person if
Okay.
you're here in Rockford,
Yeah, but
Illinois.
you can't. The only way you can watch them in person is if you literally fly to that state and go there. That's
Yes,
what I'm
that's what I
saying.
was
Like,
telling
But
you,
what
Theo,
if
you
they
have to
Danielle.
don't remove you?
understand that if they don't let you in virtually and they banned you, because every time before the court watchers with me, when I brought somebody in person, like an advocate, the judge always kicked them out of the courtroom. My judge always kicked them out of the courtroom unless the only person that she didn't kick out was the guy that I was married to, my second husband. Yes, girl.
Oh,
Someone said if we are going through a separation and the affair partner is going through a divorce, I can have the husband and lawyer watch on Zoom. I mean, usually like sometimes if there's those Zoom hearings, they might like ask like, "Oh, who's on the call? Who's on?" And then like sometimes they kick people out, which they're not supposed to do that. But if you'd say ahead of time like this is my support person under the ADA,
Yes,
then
girl, but she
it's
denied
like a way
me.
around it. It's like a loophole.
But Theo, you already know damn well you were the one that filled out for my ADA, my second accommodation for my ADA, and they still denied me. The judge still denied me. But at least you have it on record to where we could fill out a lawsuit.
yeah, but Danielle, remember you don't want to talk about those things right now.
Yeah, you're right. You're
All
right.
right, so maybe we should hop off now. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about.
I don't
Well,
know.
I don't know what I can and cannot talk about. I really don't know.
You can't talk about your case.
Okay. Don't talk about my case at all.
I'd like to talk about some more of these fake advocate people,
Yeah.
but I know you guys don't.
Well, I don't want to be a part of no cult, no system to where it tells me that I can't be friends with somebody and friends with the other person. And if I am friends with that person or do business with that person, that I'm a bad person myself, like whatever.
Yeah, like if they tell you that you can't be if you talk to me that they're never going to help you and you're deleted from their group and you're not part of it and it's like that's like coercive control telling somebody no
Yeah.
you can't talk to
It's
this
like
person
you're
and
worse
that's
than my
exactly what she
narcissist.
yeah and she tries to say that this is abuse you're doing abuse and then she wants to call everybody a drug addict but she's over here buying pot for her son all the time. So maybe she should look at her drug addict son since she wants to call people addicts. But how many does her son have a medical card? Is it a prescription or is it personal use? Because that's what I mean. It's like she's over here attacking people who have prescriptions for it, where it's like that's your
Right.
medication. You're not going to tell somebody, "Oh, you're a junkie because you take a blood pressure med. You're a junkie because you take a antidepressant." They would never say that.
Well, I guess I'm a
So it's
junkie because I fucking take, I guess I'm a junkie because I take fucking trazodone for sleep. shit.
No.
Yeah, her son's an adult. How old's her son? Like 19?
I don't know.
I think he's
I
like
don't know that much
19.
about her. Like, I really don't even care.
Well, all
I
I
don't
know is
even know
that,
that
like,
much about her.
number one, if you're a disability, if you call yourself a disability advocate and you're advocating for people with disabilities, like alcoholism and drug addiction are both disabilities, number one. And number two, if somebody
Yeah.
has like PTSD or ADHD or something like that, and they do medical marijuana because it's a prescription for that, that's perfectly fine. And so like they can't then turn around, if you call yourself an advocate and then you turn around and say, oh, this person's an addict because they use medical marijuana. That's what she's doing. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, but you're a hypocrite. And then it's like, she just wants to like tell everybody to attack people when they say their opinion. But it's like, that's not like normal. Like, you know what I mean? If you're an advocate, you shouldn't send your group to attack others just simply because they disagreed with you.
You know what, like, somebody had said something in a voice clip, and I was just like, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So I got kicked out of the group or whatever, which is fine because God saw fit that He needed to protect me in my case. Because now I'm about to get visitations back. So God saw fit to where He needed to remove me for the time being in order, to focus on my child or whatever, whatever. But I just don't want to be a part of any drama because my name gets brought up so many times. Like, leave me out of the drama. And then the voice clips that were going on to where I got blocked out of the group was somebody that was talking about this person. And it's not like I was agreeing with it, but I'm like, okay. So that's why they were so upset and they kicked me out of the group, which is fine. I don't care. Like, I support anybody, any mother, any father that's going to fight for their children. I don't care what part of team, Family Justice Accountability Act, stand safe for
Wait, so she locked you out of being a team
Suit
lead
for
just because you.
Justice, or Richard Gaza, or whatever this
You
group,
mean Robert Garza?
Yeah. Did
like
she
Stone
lock you
Suit
out
for
of being team
Justice.
lead,
Like,
Danielle?
they think that I'm leaving them and I'm going for a Stone Suit for Justice with Kathleen and Kristen. Like I don't want to be a part of no drama. I'm my own group, okay? And the own group that I have is one person. It's me. Fuck.
Wait, say that again?
The only person that I'm leaving for any group is me, and it's just one person, and it's me. Because I'm not with them, I'm not with her, I'm not with them, I'm not with him, I'm not with her, I'm not with nobody. I'm just with anybody that is willing to fight for our children.
Danielle, Anna in the comments said, hope you have a nice Christmas to you.
Anna, Anna. Hey, Anna, baby, I love you. Anna, I know Anna. Anna is Fur Baby 88. Her daughter. That's her daughter.
He's Fur Baby?
Yeah, Fur
Oh,
Baby.
Fur Baby's daughter?
Fur 88. I
Yeah,
call her
for
Fur Baby
88.
though. So Anna is the mother of Fur 88.
Got it.
Yeah. So I love you guys. Anna and Fur Baby, I love you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. Like, and if anybody wants to come on the podcast and share your story like one-on-one and have like a full interview and stuff, just DM me. And we're, like probably like end of January, beginning of February, we're going to start filming again. So, I feel like sharing your story is the best thing you can do. And like, I wouldn't have met any of these people who are supporting me or helping me along the way if it wasn't for me posting. And they kept saying, don't post, don't post.
Yes.
Every lawyer was like, don't post, don't post.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you can do. But as soon as you post, you get the truth. You find out what's going on and you hear other people. I thought I was alone. Now I'm like, oh no, there's thousands of people in the same boat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
And
guys
I
think?
just
How
fired my
about?
attorney. I just
Nice.
fired my attorney on Thursday of last week. Don't let
Yeah.
them
Go,
take it.
Danielle.
No.
Merry
Yep.
Christmas, Queen. I know the holidays must feel heavy, but you're doing amazing.
Fire that attorney. Fire that public pretender. Fire that public go pro se. No. No. Hell no.
Well, if anybody wants to go pro se and needs help navigating pro se, that's literally what I do. So, like, let me know. And if you want to be on the podcast, let me know.
I want to be on your podcast, girl.
You do?
Well,
I
they're telling
do.
you can't talk about your case. So, if you do
I
come on,
can't until after the case is closed. But I also have a lot of people that are waiting for me until my case is closed. So not only you, I'm not going to disclose their names, but I also have so many other people that they want me to share my story.
well, you could go on multiple podcasts. You can go on all of them.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the thing is because like I feel like the other group that I was in, like I couldn't interview with certain people. So now that I'm glad that I'm a free agent
Yes.
and I'm not with no part of no group.
And it'll start feeling so much better and better, Danielle. But the thing about it is like we both got used to being in that group, and we used the chat to try to connect with a lot of parents, and we both got taken out for a very terrible reasons, and it is only it's good that we have each other still, and like we could still connect with all the other parents that we met through it. That's the one thing that we could take away
But the
from
one thing that
Francesca's
they fail
group.
to realize is that I have direct contact with the people that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And like, see, Natasha Kit Kat in the comments says, "Hey, from Waterbury, Connecticut, been following your journey for a while. Hope you get your kids back. DCF fails so many families and children. Breaks my heart. The ship parent is praised and gets custody, and it's so true. In Connecticut, DCF, and even Waterbury. Look at the Kim Sullivan case. How does DCF say, "Oh, we don't have any records on the Kim Sullivan case," but then magically they find records? And like same thing, like New Britain, like DCF has failed so many times, so many, and like Connecticut
because
DCF
it's
is
not
crap.
because they failed, it's because they want to. It's
Yeah.
because of the money and the funding, bro.
I need somebody to explain the title 4 and 7 stuff to me. That's what I need next.
I'll explain it to you.
It's because of the money and the
Because
funding.
there's in January, that's what Kathleen Arthur has got Grassley's support in the Senate for,
You
to
know,
take away the
do you
funding for
know that
that
I
to the
stayed with
DCF.
Kathleen Arthur for 3 days?
Girl, like you just said, anybody that's gonna get us to the goal of getting our children back is worth it. And it is it's like 3 bills is up in the air right now, which can
Well,
make
now
real change.
supposedly that Kathleen and Kristen have like a 385-page bill, but Francesca has a 94 or 96-page bill. So Kathleen Arthur, I stayed with Kathleen Arthur while I was there in DC.
Really?
Me and somebody else. Yes, I slept in her fucking house for 3 days.
Was she nice?
She was nice, yes. But I stayed with Kathleen. I lived with her. She offered me to be in her house.
Yeah, she's trying to take out the funding from the titles things that I was saying. I need to explain
Yeah,
it.
but that is like
stayed
where
with
they get all their
Kathleen
money.
Arthur.
That's where
they get all
they're
their
going
money.
they're going to DC in January for that.
Well,
From 6 to
January,
11.
if you try to pass a bill, like that's the slowest month. Like you need to go ahead and
No, that's just what Francesca is saying. And then that means that her executive order and her bill are not going to get passed in January either. So she wants us to do a dance routine. She wants to take the time to figure out how to do a choreographer dance routine
right?
at the White House the next time
A
we go.
mob, right?
That's what her plan was. That's crazy. That's legit crazy to ask the most hurt people in the country,
Right.
the ones that need the most help, that are without their kids, to go and then let's do a flash dance, a national flash dance. How the hell she couldn't even coordinate trying to make a plan to get that bill passed. All she did was complain and oh, let me not, because it wasn't just me. I watched her do it to like so many different people and questioned her about it too. So it is what it is. It's sad. And it's like a lot of the advocates have an angle to try to get money. Dave Weigel's angle is he's trying to do
He's trying to raise like $5 million in donations. But before you give anybody money, no matter what it is for in life, whether it's for court work or if you're hiring a lawyer, hiring a doctor, no matter what it is, okay? Ask the person how much they're charging you. What are you going to get for that? Like, I'm going to charge you. If you say,
Well,
if you
honey,
go to,
the only person
wait,
I'm
listen.
giving money to
Hold on, listen
is
to me.
because
Listen to
of
me.
you, because I know that you're smart and you know how to do like the motions and
just
stuff
hold
like
on,
that.
Danielle. Wait, let her
Listen to
finish.
me. Ready? Let's say so Francesca Amato says that she's this world-renowned advocate that's so
But
smart and knows everything.
$2,800, I can't afford $2,800.
Now, if
I can
if
afford
somebody says, "Hey,
$150.
Francesca Amato," or maybe they talk to the fake AI bot Clarice that's not real. Hi, Francesca Amato. I need an ADA accommodation. How much are you going to charge me? And she says, "I'm going to charge you $3,000." Okay. Then your next thing to say to her should be, what does the $3,000 include? Well, the $3,000 includes, me writing you a letter and coming to 3 court appearances. Okay. And what happens if you don't come to the court appearances? Do I get refunded? Do I get some money back? Is this going to be in writing or is this just verbal? Because then she'll just renege on the whole thing. And if you think about it, like, look at what she does, like 3 court appearances plus making a ChatGPT letter, like literally generated from ChatGPT. She doesn't edit it or anything. And so it's like, okay, ChatGPT is free. You can do a paid one for $20 a month, or you can do the other one for $200 a month. So even if you paid $200 a month for the best ChatGPT you could get, you're still going to be $2,800 less than what Francesca would charge to write one thing. And then her coming to the hearings, this is what she does. She lies. She says she's going to come. She doesn't show up in person. She'll go on the Zoom call if she goes, and then she'll claim that they muted her. Or she will just say, oh, they won't let me on. They won't let me on. You want to know why? Because they'll say, oh, you have to sign this form that you're agreeing that you're going to be the ADA support person. And she's like, nope, I'm not signing that form. And then she says, she told Natasha, no refund allowed. Like, this lady is making people sign contracts. And I know some people don't want to talk about other people, but like, I feel like this is necessary. She's making people sign contracts saying, if you're going to be part of her group, you have to sign a contract promising that you're not going to work with any other advocates. You're not going to get help from any other advocates. What kind of shit is that? Okay. That is crazy. It's like, oh, if you're going to talk to me, you're not allowed to talk to anyone else.
It's never been a problem, Theo, until I met you and Natasha.
What a coincidence. As soon as I started helping you, now all of a sudden no one's allowed to be in her group unless they sign something, say they won't work with anybody else. How interesting. And I helped you do a thing.
She wants to put it like Theo. She wants to sit there and put it like it's like, oh, the only people in her group that could sign, and this is the contract only for Netflix. No, baby. Do you know?
There's not going to be no Netflix.
Do you know before you even started signing those contracts? Like, I already had the post-production person reach out to me before they even knew about Netflix. Because of my cousin Shanna Watts and her murders.
There's not going to be a Netflix. I'm telling you. That's fake.
But that's what her angle was, is that she was using the publicity you would get from your cousin's trial.
Because it felt like a cult. I swear to God it did. And I'm not lying. I still support them.
You'll
And I
start
is a
feeling
cult.
better and
you,
better and better.
I support anybody that's trying to fight for our children. But you know what? I just can't deal with the drama.
And I'm glad I reached out to you today because where is the advocacy right now? Our like we're without our children on the holidays. Like where is the advocacy? What was the plan given in that group to help the parents in any way, shape, or form?
Right.
And then the angle there too is that you have to pay the $200 to even get to know if it's what the cost of her representing you is. So no matter what, even those people that can't pay the $2,800 are still paying her $200. You know how much that adds up to in a day if she's getting all the advertisement through trying to promote the
You
bill.
want to know what she told me the day after court?
What?
Because I've been asking her for about 3 months. I'm like, well, how much would you charge me? How much would you charge me? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now that she knew where my case was going and she already knew that I was winning my case,
Mm-hmm.
she wants to sit there and tell me, oh, yeah, it's $2,800. And then, yeah, we could do a $500 a month payment. And I'm like, Francesca, I'm already winning my case. What do you mean? I don't need you.
$500 a month payment for what? That's like a car payment right there. $500 a month.
And then on top of that, I'm like, well, Francesca, what do you mean? Because I'm already winning my case. Like, my case is going good right now. I have the upper hand. And then I was like, okay, lawsuit. And she was like, okay, then we could do the lawsuit.
She doesn't know how to do lawsuits. She does not know.
No, but
she's
now
not a lawyer.
now the point is, you know how many times you begged her to help you in that chat? Begged her, did you do this? Did you do that? Are you gonna do this for me? Are you gonna do that for me? And now when you got the right paperwork to go in there and fight for your son and it actually got somewhere, she tried to take the credit and now do the lawsuit so she could take a cut. Because that's what that's about.
Yep.
And use your
That's why I
fame
was
for
like, well, what do you mean, Francesca?
your
I'm like,
family
no,
and what happened in
like,
your family to get a
I'm
contract
like,
with
my law,
Netflix too.
I'm like, my family case is almost done. Like, let me just go ahead and finish it out by myself. Like, it already got turned around from what I did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You only did
even
the
just the
ADA
Illinois group
violation,
alone.
and Theo did the motion. They didn't grant anything, but at least we made noise, you know?
They granted your request to remove the lawyer, and
Yes.
they gave you a
The
continuance.
yes.
And they didn't TPR you. They would have TPR'd you right then and there, and the old lawyer wasn't going to help you. That's what I mean. You paid out of pocket for a lawyer. I know a lot of people spent close to $1 million. Some people I've talked to spent hundreds of thousands of dollars their whole life.
I'll be right back.
I know girls who sold their house to pay lawyers, and
Yeah.
they're left with nothing because this is what I mean. And like Francesca's
Because that's
pretending
part
to
of
be a
the
lawyer.
corruption, because they go after your child, they make money off your child, and then they make you fucking sell your fucking house, where they get a fucking bonus for that too. Like,
They make you sell your house, and then
Yeah.
they make it so that they buy your house back at the foreclosure for like nothing, and then they sell it back to the bank, or they sell it to like BlackRock, and they make a huge profit. But you know, my point is like, what are her qualifications? Has she gone to law school? Has she ever worked for an attorney? Is she a lawyer? She has absolutely no qualifications whatsoever. And also, what she's doing is actually like practicing law without a license. Like, what I do is I help people who don't have a lawyer and either can't afford a lawyer or don't want to have a lawyer and want to be pro se. I'll help them like help them through the process of doing their paperwork, and then they file it pro se. I make it clear that I'm not giving them legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, but I went to law school for 2 years. I have a certificate to practice law under supervision of an attorney in the state of Connecticut, which means if you're in Connecticut and I was in Connecticut, I could get an attorney to sign off on it, and I could be your lawyer and represent you in court and actually stand in court and be your lawyer if I get a lawyer to to supervise. Okay. So like that means if I was interning, they
Like
could
the
send
second
me.
pay, right?
Yeah, like if I was at a firm interning, I have the license now where they could send me by myself and I can be the lawyer just like them. So like I've done things that are considered practicing law during internships and stuff like that. And so I've gotten a lot of experience and plus with my own cases and things like that. What has she done to give herself any type of credentials to do what she's doing? Take away ChatGPT and she won't be able to do anything. I'm telling you. And like she'll pay other people, like people in New York that I know, these other girls, she'll pay them, outsource the work to them. So she'll tell you, hey, do this lawsuit for me. I'm going to charge you $5,000. Then she gives it to this other girl and says, here's $1,000, write the lawsuit. And then she pockets the money. And then it's like, she writes some bullshit lawsuit. Like the girl, who was it that she did one for? I can't remember, but it was one of the girls from the group. She wrote them a lawsuit and said, oh no, it was Melissa. She did it for Melissa. And she told her, file it in the Court of Federal Claims. Melissa did it. And then the Court of Federal Claims was like, oh, this is the wrong jurisdiction. You can't file this here. This is only for things against federal employees and things like that. So it's like, she's advising people to do the wrong thing and like fucks it up. And then she's like, oh, if you want me to fix it, I need more money. You know?
Yeah, I heard her say that, and I looked it up to find out what it was about, that the federal court.
Yeah, it's not for what she's saying.
The judge told me that she's not going to even acknowledge the support system or group that I have because they're fascists.
That's terrible.
Fascists
yeah, like-
means, they're not trained professionals, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But listen, I think I'm going to end the stream. But if you guys want to talk later, we can, and then maybe we could go live again sometime, and we'll set up the times for the podcast. If you or anyone else that commented wants to do it, we can set it up.
Okay. All right. Whatever, hon. Just
Okay, you guys have a good night or good day.
Because
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Theo, I'm probably gonna just get a hold of you in the next couple of days, just so
just message me.
And we could get this motion started. Okay.
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 Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. Merry Christmas.
Sounds
Okay, bye.
good. Merry
Talk to
Christmas.
you.
Bye,
Love
guys.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.